Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode with your girl, Audrey Codner from GED Math tutoring. Hopefully, you guys are having a lovely evening. Yes, I am on early. I had a cancellation, so I was like, you know what? Let me just go live real quick. So I am not doing this at midnight. Yeah, I know. I already have a lot of other people that are doing that, so that will be great. So what we're going to be working on tonight is called point-slope form. So you know that there is a slope. The slope is usually your rise over your run. You also know that the equation of the line is y equals mx plus b. So now we're looking at another way of using a point and slope to find your equation of the line, which is y equals mx plus b. So usually this is what we're finding out. We're looking at our standard form. So standard form is your ax plus by is equal to c. Your a, your b, and your c all equals numbers, but we prefer that our a not to equal 0. So then you have your slope-intercept form, which you have your y, your m, which is your slope, and your b, which is your y-intercept. The b is always where you start on the y-axis if you ever wanted to do graphing. But what we're going to focus on tonight is called point-slope form. So we have y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And I'm going to show you real quick where this formula came from. You're going to be slightly shocked, just a little bit. Okay, and you're going to be like, oh, I never knew. But now you do. So as you guys are coming in, if you're here, go ahead and tap on up. Hey, Big Al. I know I'm coming in a lot early. Like I said, I had a quick cancellation, but then I have another student later on. So I just figured, let me see if I can squeeze this in, like me in some pants. And let's see if we can actually do a little bit of learning in this short amount of time. We have like roughly less than like 40 minutes. So we can definitely get this done. All right. I love how you're saying hurry up. I need for you to check your tone. No, this is not calculus. This is Algebra 1. Okay. So as you're coming in, go ahead and tap along. So what we're doing is we're taking slope. Remember the equation of slope? The difference of the y's over the difference of the x's over the difference of, so your rise over run. Well, if I have my m equals my difference of y's over difference of x's, if I make this into a proportion, meaning I'm going to put this m over 1. And when I do this, oh, hurry the fuck up. Oh, let me tell you, I know you weren't hugged as a baby. I'm so sorry. Because I don't know what kind of manners you got, but that is not tolerated here. Hope you have fun for the rest of your night, baby. Right? Don't worry, Apple user. Hey, Apple user, I haven't seen you in a minute. Thank you, babe. I got you. Sometimes it has to switch from one hand to the next. Gotta do what we gotta do. Right? Hey. Aw, I'm lame? No, I'm not lame. Oh, I'm so sad. Let's see if TikTok can help you. That'll be amazing. So anywho, so what we're going to do is actually cross multiply. We're actually going to cross multiply. Oh. So it looks like, I know. Thanks, Sharon. I got you. Oh, hook, line, and sinker? Oh, that'd be awesome. I love to being hooked. So I guess you know everything about hookers, huh? So when we cross multiply, we have y2 minus y1 equals m times x2 minus x1. And if you notice, once we do our cross multiplication, this looks very similar to our equation for point slope form. The only thing that actually goes is that my y2s, right? My y2s, I don't need 2 points because it's called point slope form. So there's only one singular point. So we don't need the 2's. It's going to come down to y minus our y1 equals m times x minus x1. All right. Yes. So now, all we're basically doing with this formula, there's only 3 areas that we have to really focus on. So the 3 areas is my y1, my m, which is my slope, and my x1. So the x and the y is going to represent the point. The m is going to represent our slope. So if we take a grand look, so let's say, if they give us they say 2 and negative 4. And they're telling me that my slope is negative 1. And they say that they want the equation of the line, but they want it in point slope form. So all we're doing is taking the difference of our y's and make the second y be your y1 equals your slope times the difference of your x's and make the second x your x1. Because when we look at our coordinates, this is going to be my x1, this is my y1. So all we're doing is just plugging that stuff in and making sure we have the right signage. So we have our y minus our negative 4 equals our slope, which is negative 1, and then x minus 2. Hey, Danny. How's it going? No, this isn't physics. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Now, let's clean this up because we're almost done in point slope form. So if I clean this up, I have a minus a negative. When I minus that negative, that means we're turning into a positive. So it's really going to be y plus 4 is equal to negative 1 times x minus 2. So this is the equation of the line that's in point slope form. Okay, so I'm going to stop right there for right now. So that's what it looks like in point slope form. You're like, wow, but we could be doing so much. We just want to hold it in point slope form. Okay, hey Jess, how are you? Haven't seen you in a minute. You okay? Okay, let's try another one. So let's say the point is negative 1, 2, and my slope is, let's say, positive 1/2. And all we're doing is we're taking our point, this is our x1, this is our y1, because this is the only coordinates, the only point that we have. And this is our slope. Okay. Oh, okay. All right. So let's do it. We have our y minus my y1 equals my m times x minus x1. So all we have to do is substitute, and the only spots we have to substitute is for this y1, which is a 2, the slope, which is a 1/2, and the x1, which is a -1. Anytime I substitute a negative, I always put it in parentheses. Because when I bring everything down, it's going to be y minus 2 equals 1/2 times x minus my -1. Okay. So now we just need to clean it up. Anytime you see a minus and negative, the same thing happened over here. When we minus the negative, let's clean that up to make it into a positive. So my final answer is going to be, I'll put it in a different color. I've got y minus 2, which is equal to 1/2 times x plus 1. So anytime you see a minus and negative, just make it into a positive. Okay. Thanks so much for the follows and the tapping, guys. I appreciate it. Can you do the math why I got no game? Why you got no game? I don't know. All right, let's see. Who else is here? Hello, Butterfly High. I'm sorry, I just kind of skipped over you. All right, I know. Okay, we did that. Yes. Hey, Sharon. How are you? Is that Merrill Lawson? Right? So crazy. Samson, how are you? Another with that. Shashan! Marvelli, how are you? Okay. Aries 8, glad you're here. I'm doing good, Danny. I'm just trying to catch up on all the comments. Make sure I didn't miss anybody. Okay. First time watching? Well, hello. Welcome in. Oh, wait. I skipped a whole scene of people. I am so sorry. Shar, how are you? Okay, Terrell, welcome in here. Reed, hello. Okay. All right, I think we're all good. Are we answering? Yep. Okay, now I see you guys. All right. Let's try some more. I know, we're going to have to do fast forward, speed ahead. So basically, point slope form is just basically the formula for slope cross multiplied. That's all it is. That's where it came from. So like, where did this come from? Now you know. Now you know exactly where this comes from. So if I have a point 3, 1, and let's say my slope is 2/3. Okay, what would that look like in point slope form? Now I know people are probably like, is this in the GED? Point slope form is not in the GED. Sometimes they might have it like this and ask you to pull out the point and the slope And if anything, it's probably going to be just one question. But here's the thing. That's a 4-point question. Just saying. ASVAT, you're definitely going to be doing this. Okay? You're definitely going to have this ASVAT. ACCUPLACER, the same thing. T's, not so much. Okay? T's test, you're going to have mostly like y equals mx plus b. Okay? So, but you never know. So might as well just let's see if we can learn it so we can apply it. Oof, yeah, linear. Can't take that. All right, good. I do not, Braden. Sorry. Okay, so what grade math is this? This is like Algebra 1. This is Algebra 1. Definitely first semester. So if your child or you're coming up to this. I think some people are now finishing up inequalities. So they'll be working on slopes soon. I think, if I'm not mistaken, relations and functions, and then they're going to be looking at slopes next. All right, so what do we have? So Big Al has y minus 1. We just need the equal sign, and we'll be good to go. Then the 2/3 times x minus 3. Okay. Like the linear equations? Okay. Do I teach private lessons? Yes, I do. Better catch me soon because I had like 3 appointments today. And they just contacted me yesterday. So I guess everybody's getting their results after their first test and they're like, nope. We need that person, the one with the hand. We need her. Get her. So definitely reach out. Okay. Stargazer, hello. You love linear? Maybe you can tutor. I forgot who said they needed some help with linear. Maybe you can reach out. All right, so we have our y minus our y1 equals our m times x minus x1. And if you recall, the only areas that we really have to worry about substituting is my y1, my slope, and my x1. And if you're wondering where the x and the y is coming from, it's right here from that point. Since there's only 1 point and 1 slope, we're substituting the x and the y's for the x and the y's, and we're substituting our slope for the slope. Hence the name, point, slope. I mean, really, guys, it's not that deep. It's really not that deep. Okay? All right, so we have our y minus our y1, which is 1, equals our m, which is 2/3, times x minus my x from the point, which is 3. All right, so this is your equation in point slope form. Now, if I wanted to convert, okay, we're not doing a whole lot of things. If they wanted us to take this point slope form and they want us to put it as the equation of the line, so they want us to convert it to y equals mx plus b. All right, so I'm going to use that last example. Okay, I'm going to use this last example. So we got from point slope, it was y minus 1 equals 2/3 times x minus 3. Well, so we want to get our y by itself, but just like order of operations, we got some multiplication to do before we take care of this adding and subtracting over here. So first thing that we're going to do is multiply this 2/3 to everything inside the parenthesis. Okay, what do I get when I do that? So ignore this side and just focus right here. So I have 2/3 times x and 2/3 times a -3. What would I get as a result? Hey, Angel, how are you? Just joined? Oh, thanks. Close. Come on in. Okay. Love watching. Thank you, Darlene. Appreciate it. Okay. So we have 2/3 times x. Anything times x is going to be itself. So we already have 2/3 x. I know it's kind of hard to type in 2/3 x, but I think I'm getting what some of you guys were trying to write down. Okay, Artisan, thank you. Hello, Artisan. Haven't seen you in a minute. So now we have 2/3 times -3. What's happening here when you multiply the 2/3 times the -3? What's going on? Okay, yes, it does turn into a negative because a positive times a negative does give me a negative. Thank you. Okay, but a negative what? So CFAT saying a -9. Nope, you don't need to measure. Is that Saffron girl is saying -2? Okay, Artisan Michelle saying -6/3, which could be reduced. I got a couple -6s. I got a 6 from Crystal. CFAT saying -9. Reed saying -2. Hey, Tay. No problem. Gigi is saying 6. Swan saying -2. Elevator Stairs is saying -6/3, which can be reduced. Hey, John. How are you? You're saying -6. Is that Duffel? How are you? Take the sign and 3/1, then simplify. There you go. The boy's a genius. Saying 3/3. Okay, there's something we're doing with that 3/3. Okay, Elevator Stairs saying -2. DJ saying -2. Okay, Gigi is saying -2. Jesus, thank you. Saying -9. Definitely, I'm good. Good. All right. My mystery person saying -2. Love math. I love it. Debs is saying 1. TJ is saying 2/3 -2. There's something missing, TJ. What's missing? Okay, so you think it's -2. You want to say -1. Okay, change your mind to -9. Why? Change it back. All right. So this is what's happening. Let me see if I can find my little piece of paper. All right. So when you have that 2/3 and you're going to multiply it by that -3. Now, we can make this whole number. Remember, when you multiply a fraction with a whole number, you can make that fraction or that whole number into a fraction. Now, if you want, like some people did, after you do that, you can multiply straight across. So you can do 2 times -3, which gives me a -6, and then 3 times 1, which gives me 3. But -6 and 3, that can be reduced, basically through division. A negative divided by a positive give me a negative, and 6 divided by 3 will give me 2. That's one way of doing it. Okay, another way, so if we had 2/3 times my -3/1, we can do what's called cross simplify. Okay, since we're doing multiplication, we do cross simplify. If there was an equal sign in between those two fractions, that's when you cross multiply. Equal sign, cross multiply. Multiply, cross simplify. And I notice right here I can divide negative 3 divided by 3. And that will give me a negative 1 over 1. Because if I simplified them by 3, negative 3 divided by 3 give me a negative 1. And 3 divided by 3 will give me a positive 1. And then what's left over, I multiply straight across. 2 times negative 1 gives me negative 2, and 1 times 1 gives me 1. But I don't need that 1 anymore. So I can just simply say negative 2. Okay? You see, you have 2 different ways of getting the same answer. Now, when you're taking these tests, they're not checking to see which method you're using. They just care, did you mark A, B, C, or D? Okay? So as long as you stay true, I don't want you to memorize formulas because you're going to get overwhelmed and you're going to stop, right? Try to understand what things are happening so when you look at your answer choices, you can do a process of elimination. Okay? All right. So we have our minus 2 over here. But what's left is our y minus 1 and our equals. So we want to get y by itself because you see how y equals mx b is formed? I can't even speak. All right. So in order for us to get y by itself, we need to get rid of this minus 1. And how we do that is we do the inverse. We're going to add 1. And we're going to add that 1 to our constant. So negative 1 plus 1 gives me 0, but I don't have to put that 0 as a placeholder because I already have a y on this side of the equal sign. Bring down that 2/3 x. See, we don't have to do any more fractions. And then negative 2 plus 1 gives me a negative 1. So you went from point slope form to slope-intercept form. Okay, all you did was distribute and then try to isolate your y. Okay. All right. That's a phrase. Show your work. Okay. All right. Okay, so that's basically what we got here. So we got that? All right, questions. Questions. Don't worry, Danny, I'm good. Because for some reason, TikTok just doesn't want to block them. So, just going to ride the wave. If it blocks me, it blocks me. That's all right. I'm like, trust me. Hell, I had a death threat over here. They're not going to do anything about it. Then I got someone that's being disrespectful. I know. I respect myself too much. But you know what? We're in the time and the phase right now that I pick and choose my battles. So I am good to go. Plus, I'm not going to be here that much longer. I got like roughly a few minutes left. Now, let me set up the next one. It's still going to be point slope. But we're just taking it a step further. Let me zoom out a little bit. Oh yeah, my piece is fine. My piece is fine. Hey, Shakita, how are you? All right, so with this example, they gave us a point, which is perfectly fine. We got our x1 and our y1. Okay, so that works. But then they say parallel to y equals negative 5x plus 2. So this time they gave us a point, but what's missing is my m. If you could take a guess, what is my m? What is my m? Okay, so we got negative 5s with mom. Danielle S. Hello, welcome back, Danielle. Negative 5. Lachey, negative 5. Duffy saying 0. Level, what? Levante? Whatever. Negative 5. Jazz, negative 5. Artisan, negative 5. Shar, 5x. Yep, just the negative that's in front. You don't need the x, but good job. Land, negative 5. Seabras, negative 5. Okay. Don't have to put the x, just a negative 5. That works out great. Good, Shar. Good, Court. There you are, Reed, negative 5. Nice job, everyone. So the key was natural negative 5. Good job. The key was they said parallel to y equals negative 5x. So what we know about parallel lines, their slopes are the same. Okay, so when they give you this word, and so the slopes are the same. And that's what's so funny. This is a whole deja vu. Like my whole day has been one big deja vu. Like I knew that these trolls were going to be here today. The exact same, because I did the same problem. Wow. Woo! So funny. Okay, so when they say parallel lines, we know parallel lines, they do not intersect. So in order for them to not intersect, they will have the same slope. So that means you would have to look at the equation of the line that they gave us and use our m in that equation. Okay, so now we're going to create another equation using this point and using this slope. Now, I'm going to be truthful. Let me show you this and then I'll be truthful at the end. So we have our equation, y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Okay, so the only areas that we are replacing is the y1, the m, and the x1. Okay, so I'm going to the point for my y1, which is a positive 4. I'm going to my slope, which is a negative 5. And going to my x1, which is a negative 1. Anytime I'm dealing with the negative, I always put parentheses around it. So now the only thing that comes down is my y minus my equals my parenthesis x minus and close parenthesis. Okay. Okay, the y equals m is supposed to be messed you up. Okay, we're going to get it. We're going to get it. We're getting it. So now what you just did, this is like your equation, your point slope version of it. But we need to clean it up a little bit. What do we need to do in order to clean it up a little bit? Well, that's if I'm solving the equation. We got combined like terms. Yay, now I know what the CLT means. Okay? We don't have to distribute, But yes, level, there we go. We have that negative and a negative right here. Let's clean up this signage right here. Instead of having two negatives, let's make it into a positive. So that means it's going to be y minus 4 is equal to negative 5 times x plus 1. Now, this could be your answer. Okay? If they ever ask for an equation, this is an equation. You know how I know? Because there's an equal sign. Boom. That's what it is. Okay? But if they want us to change it from this point slope form to slope intercept form, that's when we're going to have to go all the way through to solve for y. So it's really important, because I don't want you to waste a lot of time on certain things. It's really important to take a look at what the question is asking. If they say, which of these is in slope-intercept form? Okay, now I got to put it in slope-intercept form. Okay. Now, how do we do that? Yes, Duffy, I agree with that. All right. What do is I'm going to distribute. Okay, I'm going to distribute. That was the first thing a lot of you guys mentioned. So let me swing it over here. Let me write it down. Okay, so we're going to distribute this negative 5 into everything inside the parenthesis. So that brings us down to y minus 4. So do we distribute before we add 4 on both sides? Yes. Okay, just in case you guys are like, I'm not sure where do I go, do the distribution first. So you have your negative 5x minus 5. Okay. All right. Why did I leave the classroom? Because I would have been dead by now if I didn't. Yeah, I got tired of all the foolishness. And here's my thing. If I stayed in the classroom, I would have like the same kids. There's nothing wrong with that. But I wouldn't be able to tutor the kids that I tutor now. Like I'm in Nairobi, Kenya, and Cairo, Egypt, Alaska, some in Anchorage, some just outside of Anchorage, Texas, California, Ohio. Now I got students in Puerto Rico and Florida, both the Carolinas. Like I'm all over the place. So it's kind of nice. Yep. Then we have our negative 1. Good job, everyone. Yeah, for those that are about to go into teaching, trust me, you are going to spend more time pushing papers than teaching. I'm just going to tell you the God honest truth. So if you're like, I can't wait to go in the classroom to save all these lives. Yeah, that's a movie. That's a movie. You're going to be filling out forms, going to meetings about emails, going to emails about meetings of an email that should be a meeting. Yeah. Yeah. And then when you're ready to teach, oh, we're all having a field trip today. When am I going to do that? Yep. All you do is paperwork. That's it. And you can't just grade papers like, okay, did you get that right? You got that right? Okay. No, you have to like write what's right, what's wrong, reflection. How do you know your kids are learning? No one knows that answer. There's so many times I had to tell my principal, no one knows that answer. I can't reach down in their brain and say, are you learning? Are you learning? No one can do that, right? What happened to the 2? We didn't need the 2. Good question. We were using that equation, just like how my ex used it me. We're using this equation just to get the slope so we can create our new line. Okay. Yep. Oh, over 100. Well over 100. There was 2 classes I had years ago. I had 42 students in it. And let me tell you, I know how to handle a classroom. People had like 20 people and they're like, what? And I'm like, yeah, I had 42 kids in my SAT prep class and 41 kids in my Algebra 1 class. And we don't even want to talk about integrated topics. Integrated topics, yeah, it was like a mixture of kids. Some with special needs and some that were like general ed students. That was fun. Again, I know how to handle a classroom. All right, yep. So it will be +2 once you get the new equation when you solve for y. Try again, Dolphin. Different levels learning. Oh, yeah. Some with slopes right now. Parallel lines, you have one, but not information in the other. We're not doing parallel lines. I think that's what's getting everybody that's coming in later. So what we're doing is we're doing point slope form. So all we need is a point, we need a slope, and we're going into the form. So we're not comparing 2 parallel lines. We're only just using the information that they're giving us for us to find what the slope was, which was our -5, because we said the line that is going through this point and has a slope that's parallel to this equation. Okay. Yeah, so we're not doing the slope-intercept or the other ones. Okay. So solving for y, you would use the 2. What, for this? No, we're not even using the 2 at all. We're just using the slope. Just the slope. Because we want a line that's going to go through this point, and that's parallel. And when it's parallel, they're using the same slope. Okay, let's do another one. Yeah, we can do this one. So -2, 4. Okay. Yeah, not tonight. So here's my thing. If anything that you guys are stuck on, because some of you guys are like starting to ask specialty questions, if you go here, because I can't say the name, and you type in questions, if you go here, because I can't say the name, and you type in all of my recordings, all of my TikTok recordings. Okay. You will see all of my TikTok recordings from February 2nd. So if you're asking about system of equations, if you're asking about slope, if you're asking about slopes of parallel and perpendicular lines, I've done videos of that already. Okay. I might revisit it as we go along. I never do anything very consistent because it's like, well, what's the point? Might as well teach a class. All right. But I have done videos of that in the past. So if anything, you can just go here and then do these 5 things. Subscribe, like, all this stuff. And if anything, you can just type in the search And when you type in the search, type in whatever the topic is, because you'll see a playlist that says TikTok Lives. I know it's really deep of a name, but here we are. So if you type in TikTok Lives, then you can just do a search on what concept you're looking for. Okay, anything that's like Algebra 1, anything that's dealing with GED, ASVAB, ACCUPLACER, even college algebra, some of those concepts are there. Okay. All right, does that help? Hey, Lynette. Oh, Lynette, you missed all the fun. I'll explain to you a little bit later. But I only got a couple more minutes because I got another client. Was that helpful? Forgot what your name was. Oh, yeah, it was a doozy. G. Coleman, does that help? Also, Cat Love, does that help? Okay, yes. Do I tutor? Yes, I do. Okay. These are all the concepts that I basically have been dealing with lately. So anything from 7th grade up to adults. So Algebra 1, Algebra 2. Just send me a message. Okay, not a problem. Just send me a message and then I'll get back to you. Probably late tonight, but I'll definitely get back to you. All right. So when it comes to this one, they gave us a point. So this is going to be your X1 and your Y1. Then they're saying there's a point. There's a line that's going through this point that has a slope that's parallel to this equation. So what is my slope? Put in the chat. What is my slope? Okay, so Natural saying -5/2. G. Coleman said -5/2. Mo is saying -5/2. Reed is saying -5/2. Kai is saying -5/2. I know it's hard to type it out. I know it's hard to type it out, but this is it. Good. Any others? Because that's what it is. All we're doing is looking in this spot just here. So we have our -5/2. So now for us to find our point slope, all we need is to use our point and our newfound slope. So if we have our equation, it's going to be y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And the only three spots that we're substituting in is the y1, which is connection to that 4, our m, which is our slope, and the x1, which is our -2. So that means we have our y, which is our 4, our -5/2, and our x, which is a -2. And we just have to bring everything down. My y minus, my equals, my parenthesis, and my x minus, close parenthesis. Okay, you're doing Algebra 1? Awesome. It's like, I feel like I'm cheating on you because I'm over here. It's okay. Trust me, everything is all right. Now, let's clean this up. We don't want to have a minus and negative. So if we clean it up, it's going to be y minus 4 is equal to negative 5 halves times x plus 2. After you do this for a while, there's going to be times that you can actually do the distribution and combine those two negatives together on the same line. But I want to take it step by step. So next thing that you have to deal with is nothing else, because that's point slope form right there. If they want it in point slope form, this is your answer. Because I almost went ahead and did distribution. So if they want it in point slope form, that is what point slope form looks like, nice and clean. But if they want it in slope-intercept form, that y equals mx plus b, that means we have our y minus 4 is equal to our negative 5 halves times x plus 2. And if they want us to change it from point slope to slope intercept, first thing we have to do is distributive property. So I know over here, this is still going to be y minus 4 equals, but equals what? What would it equal? Put it in the chat. What would it equal? Okay. So I agree with the negative 5 halves x. Okay, that's that first distribution. What do I get for the second distribution? Okay, good Reed, good Big Al, good Princess. Just make it into a fraction. Okay, just make that into a fraction, Princess. And welcome back. Okay. So, G Coleman, almost there. What's a negative times a positive? Okay, Z Helen, just go ahead and do that division, and you're right there. Okay, Cena, there you go, G Coleman, there it is. There you go, Z Helen, love it. Darren, good. Princess Carla, okay, make sure it's over 2. Make that negative 10 be divided by 2. Make it James. Good night. Okay, Reed, good. Natural, good. OG, what's up? Yeah. Good job. Okay, Nee, almost forgot. Almost skipped you. I'm so sorry. Okay, Neek, how you doing? Yes, negative 5. Yes, because when we distribute, you have that whole number of 2. You have that denominator of 2. If the whole number and the denominator is the same number, they can cancel out. And then what's left over is your negative 5 in this case, is whatever your numerator is. Okay, good. All right. So now we're almost there. What do we have to do so we can put in slope-intercept form? Hey Janice, how are you? I know I came on way early. I have a client, that's why I just wanted to at least get something in here. Okay, yes, Mo. Okay, we want to add 4 because we want to get y by itself. And I know a couple people said it earlier. So we got y equals our negative 5 halves x minus 1. And that's your equation in slope-intercept form. Okay, if they ever ask for the equation of the line, they're talking about slope-intercept form. Okay, two more things And then I'm going to have to shut this down. Actually, maybe even one more thing. So if we can do it one way, let's see if we can do it the other way. So that means if I give you y plus 3 is equal to negative 2 times x minus 2. Okay? So if I give it to you in point slope form, tell me what is my point and what is my slope. Okay. Let's see if I can put it to about here. So what is my point and what is my slope? Of course. If the denominator doesn't match Big Al, that means we have to put that whole number over 1 and just multiply horizontally. Yep, that's the only way. So if it doesn't match, or to simplify, yeah, put the whole number over 1 and then just multiply straight across, left to right. Okay, good question. Okay, Cat Love is saying we have negative 2 and 3. Z Helen saying negative 2 and 3, and my slope is negative 2. No problem. Optic Eyewear Shop. Hey, I might need to visit you. Where are you located? You have no idea? No problem. I'll help you through in a moment. Okay. So you're saying y minus 2 and 3. Close. Reed is saying negative 2 and positive 3, and my slope is negative 2. Okay, OG is saying 3, negative 2, and my slope is negative 2. Okay. All right, so let's take a look. So remember, the equation is, let me put it in a different color so we can see it. So the equation is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Okay, so here we are. Our m, our slope, is in the same spot. So my slope is a negative 2. Okay, because the m is always the number that's outside the parenthesis. Now, we need our x1 and our y1 to fill in this spot. X1 is here. Notice this was a minus, this is a minus. So the x1 that's taken the place is a positive 2. Now my y1s, here's my y1, here's my y1. But what's different? That has a minus sign. This has a plus sign. How could a minus turn plus? The only way is when you multiply by a negative number. Think about it. Negative times a negative gives me a positive. So that means this 3 has to be a negative 3. Okay. All right. So the formula is for point slope form. Okay. So what's happening, and just here's a little trick. You always do opposite when it comes to the point. Do opposite what you see. I saw a negative 2. That means this should be positive. I see a plus 3. That means it should be negative. But the slope just comes on down. Okay, so the slope just comes on down. All right, so let's try one more, and then I really gotta go. All right, so if I have y minus 1 equals 3 times x plus 6, what is my point and what is my slope? Okay, what is my point and what is my slope? Okay. All right, so Z Helen is saying -6 and +1 for the point and 3 for my slope. Mimi is saying -1 and 3. Okay. February 22nd is saying February 22nd. Mo is saying -6 and +1 and my slope is 3. Only one more. So we have 6 and 3 for Princess Carla. Okay. All right. I got to get going. So let me show you. So my slope is what's in front of the parenthesis. That's going to be 3. My x is always going to be opposite what I see. I see a +6, so that means it's a -6. For my y, I see a -1. That means it's a +1. So this is going to be my point and my slope. Okay. All right. So this is what's going to happen, especially for those that came in a little later. Give me some time to upload this. So where you can go here and see all my recordings, type in here, and just you'll be able to take the look of the recording. Probably give me like a few hours because it takes forever to get out of TikTok. It's a forever type thing. Okay, so I have to get going, but I will be here tomorrow night, and that's going to be the first night when we're going to start doing pull outs. All right, everyone, have a lovely evening, and I will see you guys tomorrow night. Okay, bye now.